Hey everybody, Eagle Run 23 here. Got back out the 6.5 Creedmoor. I told you I would bring this back after I shot some groups, and I have some long range stuff coming up here in just a few days. So first things first, the tracked optic on here, this is the Toric ELD 34 millimeter, is still fantastic. I knew it was fantastic. I've got several tracks. This one is really good. Trying to get better at dialing and making sure that everything is the way that it's supposed to be. My zero stop is set. I can move that back and push it down. I don't have to worry I messed up any of my settings. I think we're 100% ready on this. In fact, I would take this gun right now to go do anything with it. It's pretty good as long as I've got the right ammo, which we're going to talk about ammo here in just a second. One of the main things we were testing is our grip that came in from the folks at Adjustable Bag Rider. This is the Long Shot Precision with the finger spacer and the thumb shelf. Trying to get more comfortable and going right to this position. I think I did a pretty good job. The trigger pulls were fantastic. I have some groups I'll show you as well. Here's what the other side looks like. It's pretty much exactly vertical, and it was very comfortable to be behind, very much like it. The only thing right now that I'm still not 100% happy with is our muzzle device. When I showed this muzzle device off the other day, my suspicions were correct. Several of you in the comments reminded me that I am leaving a little bit on the table by not having a better break on there. And it just so happens that Anarchy Outdoors has reached out to us. They sent me some really cool stuff. I'll be showing those things to you as we come across those projects. There's some really cool things here. Titanium, boys and girls. This is super light titanium. This is a 6.5. We have a 6.5 millimeter, and this is a muzzle brake that should go great on there. I just need to mount it up and get that switched out. I think I would swap to this and probably not mess up my zeros. There might be a little bit of a point of impact shift, but let's talk about ammo before we go any further. This Fiocchi High Performance is very, very good. I knew my gun liked the Hornady ELD match. When Fiocchi said they would send out some boxes of this for me to test, I was excited. It looks like good stuff, and it turns out that it is really good stuff. Unfortunately, I only have one box left, so I'm gonna try to track down some more of that. It's a little hard to find, but I'll have a link for it. I think Optics Planet carries that, and it's under 40 bucks a box, so it's quite a bit less expensive than the Hornady match, and the performance is good to go. That might keep me shooting while I'm waiting on reloads. I definitely think that grip made me a better shooter. Combo that with a fantastic optic and some good ammo, and I shot some really great groups. Let me show you some of these. The range that I shoot at is a hot-cold range. When I got there, I knew I was real close to time, but I was able to get my targets set up, and then by the time I got all of my gear situated, it was time to go cold again. So I did get one shot off before we went cold, and that is the difference between my point of aim, point of impact from Hornady to down here we have a group with the Fiocchi. So I went ahead and made an adjustment on my scope. Turns out I was pretty close, and we shot a really nice group there. So I was really excited. First rattle out of the box, and we're at a .295. Very happy with that. I was pretty close on my guess for adjustment, trying to get better at dialing on that. I went ahead and reset my zero stop to right there. Just kind of knowing I was a little bit off. I didn't want to waste a bunch of ammo because I had a limited amount of it. A couple other groups here for you. Here's a .9 and a 1.1. Based on what we can do and what I did here, I guess this is obviously just me. Gun settled back in here with a 6.99. Not a bad group. I was very happy with all of these. And my point of impact looks pretty good for most of these as well. And then one more group there, a .4. So the Fiocchi stuff is 100% good to go. I would love to get some more of that in to tide me over in between my own reloads. Really good stuff. In case you were wondering, it is the Sierra Match King, so you could potentially attempt to replicate this for those of us that are reloaders. I don't know what powder they're using, but this stuff was really consistent. I wasn't running a chrono, but just based on where I was, it looks like it's all very consistent stuff. So a couple days later, I ran out to my property. If you'll remember, I have steel targets set up at 317, 365, and 317, 465, and 495. And then I also have a 100-yard target just so I can go back and confirm back to the zeros. So I got to take my dad out there. It's been a while since he's been out there, and he was able to get on the spotting scope and do some calling for me and run through my ballistic. Tract has a ballistic app that is very handy, but I was using my phone to film. So the night before, I had printed off with their calculator online, and I printed off what I was hoping to be a really accurate kind of dope card, all from a bench rest, so not any like awkward PRS shooting situations. I'm not really that good yet at that stuff, but we're getting there. So we made several hits on 100, made sure everything was dialed. It was going exactly where I wanted it to. He called out the 317. I made the adjustment. We were hitting on the first shot. He called out the 495, the 465. We were switching back and forth between the two of them. We had an absolute blast. We shot for several hours. Shot a little bit more ammo than what I was expecting, but we had a great time. Him and I haven't ever really been shooting like that before. We've been to the range a bunch of times. We're usually shooting pistols or maybe some AR-15 stuff just at an indoor range. So this was the first time we got to do that outside. I have developed a love for shooting steel. That ding is just so rewarding and I crave it. And if I don't hit it, if I don't get that satisfaction when I hit, that's what keeps me going, is I want to hear that thing ring. That was exactly where I was aiming. Way more comfortable with the optic, with the ammo, with my gun. This thing is ready to go. We're just going to swap that break out, put this new one on from Anarchy Outdoors. Anarchy is actually in this video, and I have a link for them down below. This is a company that I did not know a lot about, and they reached out to a couple of YouTubers. There's a small little group of us that they reached out to and said, hey, let's put some product in your hand and let you guys show off some of the stuff that we have. I wasn't familiar with them at all, so I was really appreciative of it. And it turns out they actually in-house make some really cool stuff. We just put one of these on the Ruger Precision 22 rimfire. It's a little black titanium one, and it was really nice. Didn't notice that it made the gun any louder, even though we went from a thread protector to an actual muzzle device.
Let's go!
We could tell that there was a little bit difference in recoil, but it's 22. I don't know what the difference in recoil is with this. The 6.5 Creedmoor doesn't really do too much for me. I can stay in the optic for the most part, but if it helps at all, that would be very beneficial. And I think the linear compensator that shoots it straight out, I think that does make a little bit more recoil for you. So I should be able to tell a pretty big difference. I think that looks pretty darn perfect on our 6.5 Creedmoor. I guess it would also work for Grendel. The profile matches pretty good. After our next shooting event, this gun will probably go away again for a little while. I have several 5.56 builds that are in the pipeline. Really cool and exciting stuff, but I'll be sure to report back to you because the next time I shoot this gun, I will have this muzzle device on there. Thank you again to Anarchy Outdoors, and YouTube thinks that you will like the video right here the most, so I'll let them choose for you. Let me know what you think. Was it a good suggestion or not? Eagle Run 23. We'll see you next time.